Hello friends, it's Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis, where I am journeying through my 40s, working so hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today we are going to be working on my financial health journey. Today, we are going to be taking a look at my plan for my September of 2025 budget, and we are going to be doing that in the Budget by Paycheck book by the Budget Mom. This year, I am using her small size, and I am also using stickers, beautiful stickers by Jennifer Bleacher, aka Life in Envelopes. I buy these off of her Etsy shop that I will link below. And I also will link her YouTube channel because she has a YouTube channel as well that I enjoy. Okay, that's these stickers here. These other stickers I got out of a sticker pack I picked up at Walmart. So she doesn't have these, but these balloon stickers and these the calendar pages and then the monthly headers that you'll see, the page headers, those are all from Jennifer. So anyway, to get started, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new, I hope that you find this interesting enough to subscribe and stick around and come along with me. I do these once a month, mostly. I did miss August, but for the most part, I do film my once a month setup, and then I have a once a year, overall setup. I'll set up my plan for the year and my Budget by Paycheck book. Will do an overview when it comes in. It's shipped. I got notification that it is on the way, so I'm excited to see it this year. And then every Friday I budget digitally on YNAB, which is the digital cash stuffing app that I use. And then every Sunday I post a physical/mental health vlog. So I am doing physical, financial, and mental health to get my life in order, and I hope that you come along and join me, keep me accountable, share your story with me, and we can do this together. If you're returning, thank you so much. I really, truly do appreciate every one of you being here and supporting me, whether it's just with likes or with comments or just through your view. Every single one of you, I appreciate you all, and I love you. So, I just want to get started by saying today is Monday the 1st of September, so I know that this is going up a little bit later than I like to get these up, but at least I am going to be filming it, as opposed to August that I didn't even film. So, I did do August, like here, I did, look at these gorgeous stickers, look at them, they're beautiful, but I didn't film it, so, yeah, filmed it, put it all, look at these gorgeous stickers. Just proof of life, it existed. I just didn't film it. So now let's do September. Y'all, today would have been my daddy's birthday. Today my daddy would have been 77 years old. So I spent the weekend up at my bestie's house sitting for her and her family. They went down the coast this weekend to Port A, and I was taking care of their puppy Harper, but they are on their way home, so I came home. I planned to film this video while I was up there, but I forgot the battery. I forgot so many things, but so I didn't get this filmed, and I was gonna come home and get stuff, but then I figured I'll just film it when I get home. So here I am, filming this video for reals. So I don't have much planned this month at all. And that's fine because I did a lot last month and I have a lot going on next month. So what I have on the calendar this month is my daddy's birthday. Today is Labor Day as well. Next week is my friend Randy's birthday. Happy birthday, Randy. And then the first day of fall. Fall is my favorite. I grew up in New Jersey and we actually had fall in New Jersey. It doesn't really count. It's still going to be 100 degrees here, but I still love the memory of fall. And that's all I have going on in September. I did 2 paydays, so I did get paid last week, so I don't get paid again until the 12th, and then I'll get paid on the 26th. That's it. If you are returning, you know that I have a cruise coming up in January, but I have to fund it by the beginning of October, so one of my goals this month is to fund the cruise. And then if you watch my physical health vlogs, you'll know, if you watched this last week's vlog, I just posted it yesterday, I am planning to switch to tirzepatide for weight loss. So when I wrote this out, I was still researching tirzepatide. So my goal was to like research it, find it, start it. So that was my goal. I have already found it, purchased it, and I'm waiting on it. So I may not actually start it. I'm going to transition off of the old meds. We'll see how long it takes me to transition off of that and onto this. But that was my goal, is to figure out and start that process. And I did. So go me. I've already done it. And it's the first. One goal met. Yay! Yay, overachiever. Okay. That's all I have going on. I also have, there's somebody coming into town this month, and hopefully I will get to meet up and hang out with a friend that I haven't actually met in person yet. So I'm very excited about that. But we'll see. Hopefully that works out. And that will be the middle of the month-ish. So, but I didn't put that on my calendar because it's not a for sure thing. Anyway, that's what my September looks like. Now I'm going to flip, and it is a 5-week month. So the first week and the last week are going to look very similar. So I'm going to kind of go into detail a little bit on the first week. It'll take longer than the rest of the weeks. Then we'll kind of breeze through the rest of it. And the last week, it's just going to be the same as the first week. So it will go much faster. Okay, I am going to pause for 1 second while I flip to the second page and like reconfigure everything. But then from there on, I won't pause again. So give me 1 sec. Okay. So, welcome to week 1, which actually, I filmed this in my YNAB budget with me Friday. So, week 1 is already passed. It started on 8/29 for me because I did have a 3-paycheck month in August. So, my first week of September actually started on August 29th. And for me, my weeks always go from a Friday through a Thursday. I will close out my budgets every Thursday. I pay off all of my cards on Thursdays, close everything out, roll money over from week to week, and then I will start fresh the next Friday morning with my next YNAB video. So this budget goes from 8/29 to 9/4. The only income was my paycheck, which is about $2,368.19. I am salaried, but my checks vary from week to week, from paycheck to paycheck. I get paid bi-weekly, by a cent or two, maybe two, like every other paycheck. So this is my expected income after everything is taken out. So $2,368.19 is the only income that I was anticipating. And I did put my exact rent because by the time I actually put this into the book, I knew what my exact rent was. My landlord, Nathan, is my best friend, and he charges me only $500 a month rent because he is amazing. He bought this house, you'd think I would remember, like 11 years ago, I think. And I've been renting the same room from him for that long. And my rent has gone up from $400 to $500. And then we split the bills, and then we put it all into an app called Splitwise. And at the end of the month, I normally owe him around $600. Sometimes it's more. I normally budget $650. But since I knew exactly what it was, I just put in the exact amount. So $581.43 is what I ended up owing him this month. Best Buy is a card that I have a no interest payment due. It auto drafts $40 on the first of every month. So those are my two bills. I have some sinking funds, which are all listed over here, but then I have more that I couldn't fit. So I put away $50 every month for my mom's utilities. My mom lives in the country and has a propane tank, and I am setting aside $50 every month. So when they come to fill it, I'll have money set aside to pay for that. Gifts and giving, I set aside $150. Hopefully I won't use all of that this month because I only have the one birthday this month, but we'll see. Things come up. My cousin's daughter, so my first cousin once removed, is about to have a baby. I did already go to the shower, but my love language is gift giving, so there might be another thing Aunt Beck buys. I don't know. Household, this is $150 every month as well. This is for things. When I go grocery shopping, I separate out things like toilet paper and cleaning supplies, things like that. I separate them out from my groceries so I can keep track of what I'm spending on what. I know that it is time for some air filters to ship, and I think it's time for my dishwasher filter to ship as well. So those are probably be coming out of this month. So I set aside $150 every month for those items. pet expenses, I do have 2 dogs and a cat, so they need food. They do eat food. And also toys, though they are pretty good on toys right now. Oh, gifts and giving. My nephews, my great nephews, both have birthdays. Oh, no, they're in October. They're in October. We should be good. I don't think we're going to celebrate them until October. They're both at the end of October. Okay, we're good. Yeah, no, we're good. My niece-in-law was texting me about their birthdays, so that's why I was thinking that it was coming up, but it's not coming up till next month. But I might buy them now, gifts, because I already bought one. I already bought one gift. If you've been around, you'll know that my younger great-nephew, Jet, we think he's mostly deaf, if not completely deaf. So the one gift that I bought is a Tony box, which is like it's like a, I don't know, it's like a speaker system that you put different like action figures on top, and those action figures have stories in them, and they tell different stories. And I got that for Joe because it was on a good clearance. Ginny found it. Ginny is my bestie. Ginny found it while she was shopping, and like her kids love it. And so she's like, hey, do you want me to pick this up for you? And I was like, yes. And I Venmo'd her the money. But I don't think Jet will be able to use that because he won't be able to hear it. So I want to get him something else. This would normally be a big enough gift to where I would give it to both of them, but I don't think Jet can use it because he can't hear it and it's stories. So I'll give that to Joe and I'll get something else for Jet. But I do already have a gift. That came out of last month's gifts and giving. But it wasn't a holiday gift, it was a birthday gift, so it came out of gifts and giving and not holiday giving. Household, I already went over pet expenses, I already went over taxes. I set aside $10 every month for taxes so that when January, February comes around, I have money to pay for my tax prep because y'all are amazing and this channel is monetized. I don't make enough to where I have to pay taxes on what I earn from y'all, but I do have to report it. I make enough to where I have to report it, again, because y'all are awesome. And so I have to pay for the tax prep software. So I put $10 a month away for that. That is a fixed expense total of $1,056.43. And I take that from the $2,368.19. That leaves me $1,311.76 to come down to my variable expenses. So my variable expenses are my cash envelopes. If I were a cash budgeter, which I am not, but this is what I would be putting into envelopes to carry around with me in my wallet. Every week I give myself $50 for dining out, $125 for groceries, $25 for fun, that is just no questions asked, whatever I want to do with it, $25 for coffee. Thank you to whoever that was. I'm horrible about responding to comments, but I do read them. So whoever it was that asked me for help with YNAB, I am going to sit down and send you a message this evening because I know that it's rollover time and that's important and I want to respond to you. Whoever it was that told me I missed the coffee, thank you. I was racking my brain trying to figure out why I had too much money. So I give myself $25 every week for coffee. Ecclesial expenses, this is my church donation. It is $60 for the in the bag and $20 for a meal if we go out afterwards. Stuff I forgot, this is my little buffer zone. I can pull it if I go slightly over in one of these other categories. Self-care is $50 every paycheck. I only put this in on paycheck weeks. And gas, again, this is for paycheck weeks. I only put $25 in every time I get a paycheck, which again is bi-weekly. YouTube expenses, that is for things like these pens, this book, these stickers. It's things related to this channel's expenses. I put $20 every month in here. So that is a variable expense total of $440, and that leaves me $871.76 to come up to my savings goals. Again, I have a lot of savings goals. I have a lot of sinking funds because one of the very first things when I started budgeting, one of the very first things I saved for was my car registration. And I was 40 years old, y'all, when I started YNAB and started saving for car registration. 40 years old. I'm 45 now. 40 years old was the very first time that I was able to walk in and register my car at the beginning of the month when the car registration was due, without stressing about it, without waiting till the end of the month and then scrounging around and trying to figure out where I was going to come up with that $100 because I didn't have it, maybe even being late with it, because I had a sinking fund and I saved that money ahead of time. And I can't tell you the relief of having that money saved. And if you are new to budgeting, sinking funds are where it's at. And it may seem ridiculous that I am saving $1.77 a month. But you know what? I don't miss $1.77 a month. But what I am going to miss is $150 out of my pocket all at once when it is time to renew my passport. Except for I won't, because I have it saved. It is going to be ready to go. So sinking funds are where it's at. So I set aside $25 for car maintenance, and guess what? I sure needed it, because squirrels sure do love key of plastic. My car is a year old this weekend. Nathan took him in to get an oil change for me on Friday, have a free oil change, and squirrels ate the windshield washer fluid packet, holder. So they wanted to charge me almost $500 to replace it. Fortunately, Nathan's hobby is working on cars. He's actually outside right now working on his own car. It's what he likes to do in his spare time. So I was able to order the part off of the internet for just under $100, and it'll be here next week, and he will replace it for me. Hopefully he can do it. If not, my cousin, also named Nathan, randomly, owns a used car. He owns a used car shop. That's what he does. He sells used car, and he fixes them up. So I can probably ask him to take a look at it if this Nathan can't do it. So, and that Nathan actually, when I posted about it on Facebook, told me he heard this week that they use peanut oil in there to make their wiring. So maybe that's why the squirrels go crazy about it. Who knows? I did not know this. I thought he was joking. He's not joking. That's a legit thing. So maybe that's why the squirrels left my... Anyway, it's really important to have sinking funds, y'all. Fortunately, I was able to cover it. I had the money, and I just ordered the parts, and they'll be here. I also needed a new cabin air filter, so I got that. That's here. I can just do that myself. That's super simple. They wanted to charge me $70 for that. That was a $20 part. Yeah, no. Clothes, I set aside $25 every month because, as I mentioned, I am on a weight loss journey. I did recently purchase a bunch of t-shirts because none of mine fit me, and now I have clothes that fit me. Vacation, I set aside $100 a month. I am about to go on a trip to Boston, so this will be put to good use. $1.77 I set aside every single month because I will, in 4 years, need to renew my passport, and I will have it. I will have it set aside. This is Mission Lane is a credit card with an annual fee, $4.54 I set aside every month. My mom's birthday is in February. I set aside $25 every month so that in February I will have a nice little amount of money to take my family out for a meal. Amazon Prime, Nathan and I, as previously mentioned, we've lived together in this house for 12 years, but prior to that for another year, so 13 years I've lived with Nathan. We have an Amazon Prime account together because we're grandfathered into the old one where we could share it, and I pay for half of it, so this is me saving for my half of our shared Amazon Prime account. I have a P.O. box if you are interested in keeping in touch with me. Want to be pen pals? Send me a letter. My address is in the description box below. Send me a letter and I will write back to you. I set aside $13 a month to pay for that P.O. box. I have a Walmart Plus subscription membership. I mainly keep this because of my mom. As I mentioned earlier, my mom lives out in the country. My mom is 78 years old, y'all, and is homebound. She is on home health. It's very, very difficult for her to get in and out of her house, let alone in and out of her car. She should not be driving. It's probably not very safe for her to be driving. So she has groceries delivered to her. If you watch my other videos, I've said she probably has them delivered more frequently than she should, because she just look and she'll be like, oh, I need eggs, and she'll have them deliver eggs, and then she'll be like, oh, wait, I know I ordered eggs this morning, but now I realize I also need coffee, so she'll have them deliver coffee. I'm like, Ma, just wait, just make an order and have them deliver it once or twice a week. But I went in yesterday and saw her because, as I mentioned, today would have been my father's birthday. So I went and went to church with her yesterday and took her to lunch, and then I took her grocery shopping. So I got all of her groceries, but I forgot to get her ketchup, so I'm sure she's going to order another order, which is fine. It's her, she's spending her money. It's her money. But anyway, I keep a Walmart Plus subscription, mainly for her. I use it every once in a while. I use it for gas. I do get discounted gas with this. And it comes with a Paramount Plus subscription, which I don't watch, but okay, I have it. Capital One is another card with an annual fee, $3.25. Hi Camper. Hi is my church camp, and I've decided I want to get a camper for it next year. I am setting aside $125 a month so that I will have that money saved to pay for the camper. But if you watched my YNAB video on Friday, I am going to actually use the money that I have started saving and combine it with my vacation and use that to go to Boston, because this Boston trip is in October, which is next month. And that was a last minute decision. And then I'll start the High Camper Fund again, so this will go up. It will be higher every month. Or I might just backfill it and then start at 125. I haven't decided yet, but this money is actually going to be used for October to go to Boston. Planet Fitness is my gym membership. I pay a monthly fee, and then it also has an annual fee that comes out in August. It comes out in August. So $352 every month is what I set aside for that annual fee. Ice Ball is the fundraising gala that I just went to. If you want to check out that, it is not this past week's, but last week's week 3 of August physical health vlog. It is the fundraising event for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Central Texas. I am setting aside $25 every month, but then at the end of August, I normally group together a lot more money to be able to go to this and make a donation for Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Central Texas. I think it's a fantastic cause. And I do have a meeting with them on Friday. Hopefully they're going to give me an update on the status. I've been approved to be a big for almost 2 years now, and they haven't found me a little. Hopefully they'll find me somebody. Wine Ladies, it is, I have a group of friends that I meet with every Thursday. Most Thursdays. Honestly, I've been kind of wishy-washy. I think it's mental health, but also work has been really busy too. I've just been tired. But anyway, most Thursdays I meet with these ladies, and every month we celebrate whoever's birthday is that month. So every year everybody puts in $20 each to buy a cake every month. So it is now time. I've saved the $20. I'm going to give the lady who normally hosts, I'm going to give her the $20 for this coming year. Editing software is the software that I use to edit these videos. It's $5.54 every month. Costco. That is $5.84 a month. And registration, as I mentioned, that was the very first thing I ever saved up, and that was game-changing, absolutely life-changing to have that saved. I am saving $5 a month. Though, again, if you watched my YNAB video on Friday, this is the budget that I was budgeting on Friday, and Nathan walked in while I was filming that, and he already did his registration for this coming year on one of his cars. He has 2 cars. My one car, I only have one car. My car is new. I bought it, as I said, a year ago this weekend, and new cars come with a 2-year registration. So I don't have to register him until next year, and in that time, they've done away with the safety inspection in the state of Texas, so I don't need to do the safety inspection. But because I live in the Austin area, I live in Williamson County, I do still have to do the emissions test, so I wasn't exactly sure how much I needed to save. I've been saving $125, but he gave me the numbers, and I think it was like 89 something. I can't remember now. But I said, okay, I'll knock it down to only $100. So going forward, this will probably go down, but I had already written this out by the time I found that out. So you'll see this $5 here, and you'll see it on the last week of the month, because I'd already written this out by the time I knew that. There are more sinking funds, but I ran out of lines, so you'll see them later. So that is a sinking fund total of $387.17, and that from the $871.76 leaves me $484.59 to come down. And this says to debt, but really it's just more savings. So I'm putting $113 into my emergency fund. My goal is to have $2,000 saved by the end of the year, which I know is very low, but I managed to save $1,000 last year, and I want to save an additional $1,000 this year to get myself to $2,000. Now this emergency fund is separate from all of my other savings. So this is not my car maintenance savings. This is not my vacation savings. This is just strictly emergency fund savings. So this is separate from all of that other savings. And then, as I mentioned before, I have 3 great nibblings. So I have my great nephew Joe, who is 2 years old. My great nephew Jet, this is the one that has the hearing loss. He is 1 year old. Both of these boys will be aging up in October. Joe will be 3 and Jet will be 2. But for right now, Joe is 2 and Jet is 1. And Sweet Ellie is their little sister. She is 6 months old. I save their ages every week. I save $2 a week for Joe, so that is $4 every single paycheck. I save $1 a week for Jet, so that is $2 every paycheck. And I'm not saving $0 for Ellie, I'm saving $1 every week for her as well, so $2 a paycheck. So that is a savings total here of $121, and that leaves me $363, which you can't see, $363.59 to roll into week 2. That was the longest one. We're almost done. We're going to go through the rest of it much more fast. Much more fast? Yes, I speak the English. I promise. Much more quickly. Much faster. Look at this. This one's almost empty comparatively. So week 2 for me goes from September 5th through September 11th of 2025. I'm rolling over that $363.59, and that's all I am anticipating my income to be. I only have one bill, and that is my AFLAC, which is my supplemental cancer policy. That is $37.57. Somebody is texting me. My phone is going crazy. So that's the only bill that I have due that week. So that is my bill total. And if I take that from that $363.59, that leaves me $326.02. I have just my normal 5 every single week, regardless, rain or shine, no matter what happens. These are the bills these are the variable expenses that I have every week. $50 for dining out, $125 for groceries, $25 for fun, $25 for coffee, $80 for ecclesial. So that is a total of $305. That leaves me $21.02. And then I had YNAB, which is the software that I use to make my do my budgeting electronically, digitally. That is $2.43 every month that I am setting aside. It's not due until next year. I can't remember the exact date because of y'all, again, awesome people doing the referrals. And that leaves me $18.53 to roll into week 3. Again, because I am paid bi-weekly, but I budget weekly, I don't have a paycheck to budget this week. All I have is what I rolled over from last week's paycheck. So the reason I do it this way, ooh, look at that, focus, sorry. The reason I do it this way is because of these. So if you're not new, I'm sorry, I know you've heard this 1,000 times. If you are new, I found that breaking these up into every week, instead of giving myself $100 on a paycheck day, $225, $50, if I break it up into every week and give myself $50 every week, I can make it last 2 weeks. When I first started doing this, because this is technically the budget by paycheck, you're supposed to budget it out by paycheck. When I gave myself $100 on paycheck day, I spent it all in the first couple of days. And then I would have to go the rest of the 2 weeks with no money. Putting limits on myself by giving myself $50 one week and $50 the next week helped me stay within that budget. I just needed, even though it's my own limits, there's no difference to what's in my checking account. It's all there. I have access to it, but putting it down and limiting myself just on this piece of paper in YNAB on that app, just looking at that number, it says, oh, I only have $50 to spend. That helped me not spend it. So that's why I do it every week instead of every 2 weeks. That is what works for me. But as I've said, personal budgeting is personal. That may not work for you. You may do better just knowing what you're going to have for the full month may be better for you. You may need to look at it and say, I need to know right now what I'm going to have for the entire month. That's how Nathan does it. Nathan needs to know what he has. He doesn't want to know every week. He wants to know the whole month. And he gets paid once a month, so that works for him. Everybody has to do what works for them. So there is no one size fits all for budgeting. But this is why I break mine down this way, in case anybody was wondering why I do extra work. Plus, I love budgeting in YNAB, and any excuse I can get in there to budget more frequently, I'm going to take it. Week 3 goes from, again, a Friday through a Thursday. That's September the 12th through September the 18th. I'm rolling over that $18.59, and then I should be getting another paycheck, $2,368.19. So that is an income total. Why is this so fuzzy? Maybe it's not fuzzy and it's just my eyeballs. I hope it's just my eyeballs. $2,386.78. Oh, that's bad. I hope it's not my eyeballs because then I'm going blind. But I also don't want the video to be bad. Okay, so the bills that I have this week, my OneDrive, this is my extra storage on Google. It's $10.81. It's also my Office 365 subscription. YouTube Premium, I do have a family plan on YouTube because I have my personal YouTube account, and then I also have this YouTube account. And then and it gets me YouTube Music, which I use almost exclusively to listen to music. And then because I have the YouTube family, Nathan also is on there as well. And my Kia Soul payment, it's new, but I have to get that part replaced. That is due on the 17th, $485.25. And then here's my monthly gym membership, $27.11. That is a bill total of $548.06, leaving me $1,838.72 to come down to my variable expenses. So I have my 5 normal dining out groceries, fun, coffee, and ecclesial, and then the 2 that I only have on paycheck weeks, self-care for $50 and gas for $25. So that is a variable expense total of $380, leaving me $1,458.72. So here is where I am going to do the rest of my sinking funds because I didn't have enough money out of my first paycheck. Holiday giving. Normally this would be $100. I normally do $100 a month, but while I was filling this out, I realized I didn't put anything in holiday giving in August. I never filled it. So I'm doing $200 because I actually did quite a lot of holiday shopping in August. I bought a lot of gifts and I depleted that. I depleted it. I do holiday shopping all year round, and every month I normally put in $100. Except for I forgot to put it in August, and then I went holiday shopping. So I'm putting $200 in September. And then my car insurance, I put $100 in every month. And my mom's car insurance, I put $100 in every month. I am paying these 3 months at a time. I'm not quite where I can fill them to 6 months at a time while I am paying on these vacations. But eventually I'm going to stop going on vacations. No, I'm not. I'm never going to stop going on vacations because that's what's important in my life right now. But eventually everything will work out. Here's the thing. I want to budget for my future. I also want to enjoy my life now because I realized after I lost my dad, after I lost my sister, and then I was diagnosed with celiac. My sister passed first before my dad, and then my dad, and then I was diagnosed with celiac, and I was like, what am I waiting for? I don't want to wait to go on a cruise when I'm 75 and I can't enjoy it. I want to go on a cruise now while I can enjoy it. I already can't enjoy it as much as I could have if I had gone last year when I wasn't sick, because now I can't eat all the food I could have eaten. So I'm not advocating for doing something you can't afford. I can afford it. I have to reprioritize things like paying 3 months ahead instead of 6 months ahead. And I am not a month ahead in my budget like I wish I was. But to me, going on a cruise and prioritizing my mental health is more important than getting a month ahead. That may not be what's more important to you. And if it's not, that is totally okay. That is fine. Because personal finance is personal. Everybody has to do what is best for them. And these are the priorities that I have put into my life. To me, it is more important to help support my mom and to take these vacations now while I can enjoy them. Because I've watched my mom and I've watched my dad, and I know that their health deteriorated very quickly after retirement. And I don't want that to be me. I don't want to get to retirement and have the money saved and not be able to enjoy it. What's the point of saving hundreds of thousands of dollars and not being able to enjoy it if I could use it now and enjoy it? And that's not saying I'm not saving for retirement, because I am. But right now I want to also enjoy my life. And so I am doing my best to do what I can for both of those things. And that's what I am saying. So I am paying 3 months at a time for car insurance instead of 6. And that kind of went off on a tangent, and I'm sorry. But I just want to say, don't let anybody tell you that your priorities are not important if they're not their priorities. They are welcome to budget their way, and that is perfectly perfect for them. But the way you are doing it, if you are doing it with, you're paying your bills, you're doing just great. Do it your way. Do what is important in your life. That's what I'm saying. Also, I am not a financial expert, so also take it with a grain of salt. So $200 to holiday giving, $100 to my insurance, and $100 to my mom's insurance. That is a savings total of $400 for this week, leaving me $1,058.72. And then again, my savings for my nibblings, Baby Joe gets his 4, Jet gets his 2, and Ellie gets her 2. That's a total of $8 there, leaving me $1,050.52 to roll into week 4. Week 4 goes from Friday the 19th through Thursday the 25th. I am rolling over that $1,050.72, and I am anticipating a YouTube check because y'all are amazing. So it's going to be slightly more than $100, but $100 is the minimum. So that's all I'm going to budget. I don't know exactly what it will be, but I know it will be at least $100. So I am budgeting $100. That will be $1,150.72. I have a Mattress Firm card that I pay $200 a month on. That is for my mattress, my mom's mattress, and my nephew's mattress. I have an internet bill that is due, $50 to $80.56. Cinemark is a movie theater subscription, $6.48 comes out every month. Citi is an interest-free card. I knocked that down to $50 this month to give myself a little bit extra because the cruise I have to pay it by October 4th. So I'm putting extra money toward the cruise this month. My utility bill, I budget $120. It is not going to be that much. It will probably be slightly higher than normal because we've been watering the yard because it's August and it's hot. But it shouldn't be $120. And then Audible, this is the last month of that 8/11, so I will probably cancel it after this. So $8.11. They offered me a half price to do at 3 months. I think this is the last month. I might have one more. I'll have to check. I have a note to self, so I'll check. That is a fixed expense total of $465.15, leaving me $685.57 to come down to my variable expenses, which is just my normal 5 that I do every single week that I don't have a paycheck: dining out, groceries, fun, coffee, and ecclesial. That is a total of $305, leaving me $380.57. And since that is technically the end of the month, because the next one is a paycheck and it's week 1, it's a paycheck. Whatever's left will roll into October. I'm just putting all of that toward my cruise. So $380.57 goes to my cruise. I am zeroing out that budget, and then I'll start the next week with a paycheck. So, week 5 of September, I considered making this week 1 of October because I don't like to end a month on a paycheck, but really, this is week 5 of September because there's only 2 days of October in this budget. So, this is week 5 of September. And it goes from September 26th through October the 2nd. That's from a Friday to a Thursday, as always. And my only anticipated income is that paycheck, $2,368.19. I am budgeting $600 for rent, which is due on the 1st. Nathan is paid off. Other than the rent, I will always owe him rent. And then Best Buy, $40 will come out on the 1st. And this is basically going to be exactly the same as the first page. So I'll just go over it very quickly, but I won't go into the detail like I did the first time. $50 to my mom's utilities, $150 to gifts and giving, $150 to household, $75 to pets expenses, and $10 to taxes. That is a total fixed expenses of $1,125, leaving me $1,243.19 to come down to my variable expenses. Dining out for $50, groceries for $125, fun for $25, coffee for $25, ecclesial, again that's my church, for $80, self-care for $50, gas for $25 because it is a paycheck week. Stuff I forgot, this is again my buffer, $40, and YouTube expenses for $20. And that is a variable expense total of $440, leaving me $803.19 to come up to my sinking funds, savings goals. These are my sinking funds. Car maintenance for $25, clothes for $25, vacation for $100, passport for $177, Mission Lane for $4.54, Mom's Birthday for $25, Amazon Prime for $6.27, P.O. Box for $13, Walmart Plus for $11.79, Capital One for $3.25, My High Camper for $1.25, Planet Fitness for $3.52, Ice Ball for $25, Wine Ladies for $1.65, Editing Software for $5.54, Costco for $5.84, and my car registration for $5, for a sinking fund total of $387.17, leaving me $416.02. And then My Great Nibblings, Baby Joe gets his 2, his 4, Baby Jet gets his 2, and Sweet Ellie gets her 2, for an additional savings total of $8, leaving me $408.02 that I will then roll into October. And that's that. We made it through all 5 weeks of October. I went a little tangenty, but it's Becky. I don't know what else you would expect from Becky. But thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you for sticking with me and listening to me ramble and rant. I love you all so much. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up on your way out if you did enjoy it, and hit that subscribe button to come along with me. If you want to check out my other videos, I will link my latest vlog and my latest YNAB video below. Also, a link to check out YNAB if you're interested in a digital cash stuffing app, if you want to try that out as well. I love you all so much, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.